Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully. Today we're going to be talking about how to curate content or what to post on your social networks and why it matters that you don't just post your own stuff. A lot of my clients have a really hard time understanding that nobody wants to read everything you post. And that if all you're doing is posting your own stuff, it sounds an awful lot like selling rather than being a thought leader or having information that's going to be interesting from other people. And it can seem counterintuitive because why would you send people to other places rather than your stuff? Think about it this way. The Huffington Post is a hub and a thought leader because they don't write about the Huffington Post all day. They write about all kinds of things that are interesting to other people. So let's talk a little bit about different ways you can, first off, easy peasy share stuff. So what I did was I went to Twitter and I went to, did a search up here, pound marketing, to get all the little pound sign marketings. And I love this. If you ain't making waves, you ain't kicking hard enough, anonymous. So I'm going to click retweet and I'm going to say share that. And what that does is it shows up on mine as a retweet, and I'm kind of giving credit to the person who had already done it, and they will get a lot of times will contact back to me and say, hey, thanks for the retweet or whatever. So it accomplishes a couple different things. I'm actually able to share things that I don't have to go find, in addition to the fact that I could make a new friend from that person. So let's talk about Facebook. And the way you share on this is there was a really good, preferred properties group posted real estate expert, offers some advice, open houses, and networking. So I'm going to click share. And this means that I'm going to be sharing this on my Facebook. And there seems to be a little funny, but really, wow, they're kind of blowing up today. But what I would do is I would say, really great article. Thanks, Kathleen. That happens to be one of our clients. So you could share your client work. That's a really good way to do it. Wish that was better, but you get the kind of idea. And I would say, share it to my wall. Just stretching that, the legs for somebody else is really, really nice. And so the last one is on Google Plus, and this is from Scott Kelby, and I can say share, and it was really good. I already posted this, and I'm going to say thanks, Scott, for the great info. It can get really hard, and you can feel like, oh my gosh, I got to say something totally witty and pithy. The other thing that I could do for this is I could say, see John Jacobson, who's my husband, even photographers, like social media. And just be funny about it and say, hey, and he likes that. And so I'm sharing it with public, my circles, and John Jacobson. I could actually add this and say share it to the extended circles. And that's nice. It's just going to go out all kinds of different places. And Scott Kelby's a nice man and puts up lots of little pictures, and I like that. So that's how you can, one way to curate content. You want to include anybody who has previously done it. You notice on Twitter, I didn't just go steal their really cool link and post it. I retweeted and showed that it was the message from somebody else coming to me. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to share regular content that you find. So what I did was I went to my iGoogle and I found this article. I love easy versus doable versus impossible. And I love the quote, persistence and talent and a bit of luck, but doable. And I also love the quote of building a search engine that's just like Google, but better is impossible if your goal is to dominate the market with it. Google's already built a search engine just like Google, so being a Me Too is not going to be beneficial is basically what Seth's saying. And also he talks about, is it easy to set up a blog? Yes, but if you never do anything in it, just 100%, this is great for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to, you don't have to do this, but I like to take out the big long where I got it from my search engine thing. And I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go to Google Plus. I'm going to say super great post from Seth about doable versus impossible. I'm going to post my link. I'm going to click add, and I'm going to go take a little quote out of here that I like. The problem with this copy, I'm going to spice it up a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to say public my circles, I'm going to say extended circles, and I'm going to click share. So you need to add a little bit of your personality, your flavor, your business, something like that to anything that you post. And so then if I was going to be posting it on to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, I have those loaded in my Hootsuite. So let's go ahead and grab it. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to say shrink the link. I'm going to come copy this because I don't want to have to write it again. And I'm minus 35 on Twitter. So I need to take off some of this so that I can have it go out on all three at once. And I'm going to send it to Tara Twitter, Tara LinkedIn, and then my Marketing Artfully. And I'm going to say send now. And pick a picture. I love the dip. That's my favorite one. So I'm going to say use that one. And what happens is you become a thought leader. You're where people go. And when you publish something of your own, that makes you so much more valuable because they know you're not just selling your stuff. You're helping present things from everybody. And so then when you do present your stuff, they already think you're an expert. They think you know what you're talking about. They know like you and trust you and think you know what you're doing. So definitely do some content curation and it will make a huge difference in your business. Tara Jacobson, Marketing Artfully.